got my first guest on the way. So y'all just bear with the process real quick. Trying something new for the people. Some online stuff. Yeah, of course you already know who it is. It's your boy DJ Grateful. I'm out here in the building. Ready to have a good conversation on a good man for a good Mansuit Monday. Good conversation. Getting in with a guest of mine. Make sure we good. Make sure we straight. Make sure we straight. Can't have nothing on my face on the internet. They might get you. That's how it go. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be a good day. It's gonna be a good day, a wonderful day. Welcome to Mansuit Monday. Where I'm here to motivate, inspire, and lift you all the way up. You already know what it is. We gonna make it happen, Captain. We turn off my speaker right quick. Yeah, it's good. Like I've been telling y'all, I've been wanting to have conversations with other people for a minute, and I finally believe I have my first opportunity to have a conversation with the gentleman, and we're gonna get it on and popping. But while I'm waiting on him, this channel is just to uplift men, to inspire men to be their best, promote healthy morale, masculinity, and healthy manhood. So that's what this is. That's what this is all about. So I'm having all kinds of conversations about different things, and just uplifting my community of men, just building a community of men. You know, who want to be strong, want to operate in their masculinity the way I believe that we're supposed to. We live in a pretty crazy world. We feel like we're losing that, but we can't lose who we are as men. We got to handle our business, do what we got to do, and handle our business the way we're supposed to. So it be like that. Let me make sure my guy got the link here because I haven't seen him yet. Make sure. Okay. All right. So y'all forgive that intro. There we go. There we go. We in there. What's up with it, man?
What's happening, man?
Chilling, 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 man. So this is another Man Suit Monday. I got a special guest is in the building. You know what I'm saying? Well, internet wise in the same chat room. We'll call it like that. When he
Yeah,
fit,
yeah, yeah. Work for me.
that's it, man. I want you to maybe just introduce your first name and maybe a little bit about you, what you do.
Yeah, yeah. My name is Winston. I do, a little bit of content here and there. I've done a lot of research on how to do content, how to market content, how to market yourself and improve yourself and all that type of stuff. So, just done a lot of research. I put a lot of the stuff into action. I put it into action, and I've given other people advice about it. And I've been seeing results based off of the things that I found. So that's a little bit about me. That I got data and I got the field work to back it up.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah, man. I feel like meeting you has been interesting. We had a couple conversations, and we started to get into some deeper conversations. But being at the place I was, we couldn't really have that conversation at that particular time. But now we on the internet, we can kind of go a little broader as far as marketing and stuff like that, which I'm definitely pretty interested in. I'm actually very interested in learning. Maybe hearing your thoughts and kind of learning different strategies. Do you feel like work or something that you've seen? Different things like that. We definitely gonna get into it. But real quick, just want to let the people know again, this is Man Suit Monday with DJ Grateful. I'm here to motivate, inspire, and lift you up. We lifting up the men. You know what I'm saying? Promoting a healthy manhood, masculinity, and morale, and just different aspects of what that looks like. So that's why I do what I do, man. And so Winston, man, so maybe we'll start with this, man. The earliest time when it comes to marketing and stuff like that, what kind of got you into that? Like, what is it that you've seen or experienced that makes you be like, you know what, this is something I want to dive deeper into?
Man, the power of marketing is literally outrageous. You can market a single idea, and if you do it correctly, you can you can convince everybody to be on your side. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. It doesn't matter if it's the earth is flat, the sky is green, chickens can fly. It doesn't matter if you market it correctly, then you're going to convince people, you're going to sell products, you're going to obtain influence and power just based off of marketing. So you don't have to be like 6'6", 300 pounds, this super, cock diesel guy that's amazing and beautiful looking and has all the cars and girls and all that type of stuff. Nope, dog, none of that matters. If you market correctly, you don't need anybody can do it. It doesn't matter what you look like, where you come from, or a lot of things that hold people back from achieving things. You don't. That doesn't those aren't affected they don't affect you when it comes to marketing. You
Yeah.
know, like I said, if you market your idea correctly, you get you a nice logo or like a spokesperson or something like that, and you just flood the market with information uh, that's based off of what you want them to know about your information. You're gonna win.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, it definitely seems to be like that. You're right. It seems like the different things that we call limitations don't seem to always be the things that really can't limit you. When it comes to marketing, you think you looking the part is enough, and you can look the part all day and still not get no followers, no mentions, no money out of what you do, and none of that. I do find it interesting.
Yeah, man. A lot of people they stop short because they have a great idea. I know a lot of friends that got a lot of good ideas. I know a guy who's an artist. He draws really good stuff. He can tell stories. He can make like mangas and comics and all that type of stuff. But again, how do you get your information out there? You got to do it through marketing. Like it doesn't matter what you got going on. I don't care if you're like for me, for example, I love to cook. I just got done cooking a whole bunch of food. But if I want to push that information, that video and that content out, it's got to be done through marketing.
I feel that.
So marketing is kind of like just look at the last election, for example. All elections are just marketing. They're marketing schemes. You know what I'm saying? The president has to sell their product and convince people to vote for him, and that's basically them buying the product whenever they're able to convince somebody to buy their or to quote buy the vote or vote for them. That's just an amazing level of marketing that they were able to accomplish.
Dang, I never thought about it like that. But that makes sense though. Yeah, that with the marketing, they want getting you to buy into their vote, so they're putting all kinds of stuff out there. Even with those commercials, they'll give you
Mhm.
like some bad stuff about the other candidate and saying, "Hey, this is approved by such and such. Vote for me." It's like, dang, real?
Yeah. Yeah, there's two levels. There's like just like you said, there's multiple ways to market. You can market yourself positively, or you can market your opponents negatively,
Yeah,
and say, "Hey, man, you ain't got no other choice but to come this way. Because if you go that way, then this is going to be the results." So I mean, I don't really like that type of marketing, but if we're in a fight, then you kind of fight dirty sometimes. But either way,
yeah.
that's the power of marketing.
Yeah. Maybe break down one thing you may have seen recently. Do you feel like was a good marketing strategy? Something you may have example you may have seen that you feel like worked
Man, you just
or it's
there's
worked.
There is, well, I can tell you a marketing. Well, let me see, because I don't want to go too far into politics, but a good scheme that's working. I could give you one that worked before that I thought about before because I think all of us know about the good old McDonald's commercials where they always had a whole bunch of black people singing and stuff. I'm like, yo, why are these commercials R&B songs all of a sudden, right?
Yeah,
But that's who they're talking to. They're talking to people who look like me and that look like you, and we love that type of stuff.
yeah,
So
yeah,
guess what? I'm thinking about it now because the marketing was so daggone good
yeah.
that it's like, yo, they was singing, they was like, oh, they was getting all up into it, right? And it's like, yo, okay, well, I'm feeling, I'm over here cooking. I'm look over there like I'm cooking my food and want to eat their food because the dude singing the song so good.
Right.
So, and again, and that goes into the next point, which is understanding your audience, right?
Yeah,
Because they knew they were talking to black people, so they put a bunch of black people in the commercials, had them singing, smiling, having a good time, probably was dancing, all that type of stuff. And guess what we did? We went over there and got the McDonald's, those McDoubles and all that stuff, some fries and a drink on the side
yeah,
in maybe a smoothie or a coffee or something like that, just because they had some black folks singing in the commercial.
yeah. And how
So
many of us
that
wanted
was
to
amazing.
get a Happy Meal after we seen that commercial? Like
Huh?
an Happy Meal on the toy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Give me a Pikachu on my Happy Meal or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
that part, man. So there was one strategy that we were speaking about. One of the last couple of times we had a conversation at the store, you were telling me about a dude that it sounded like he had like multiple accounts and he was posting like the same content. Like, give me a little bit more about that. 'Cause we starting to get into it, but I couldn't get the full shebang. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so I thought it was nuts when I first saw it because when you're scrolling on Facebook, you go through your reels, you're just scrolling up and down, and I seen this video on the first screen. I scrolled again and I saw his face again. I was like, it's the same man. So I scrolled back up and it was another video with the same dude. I was like, so is my Facebook glitching? And
Yeah,
so I read his account name, and his account name, let's say for example, is Winston spelled Winston, right? And then the second one below was spelled Winston underscore. It was a different account.
yeah,
So I typed his name into the Facebook search, the search bar,
yeah,
and he came up like 3, 4 times. I was like, "Yo, this man, he's spamming, he's spamming Facebook with his accounts." But I understand why he does it. But he was spamming Facebook with his accounts and getting his content. You're gonna see it multiple times. There's a guy called Trey Rags, so it's spelled Traраgs, right?
yeah.
And then sometimes he'll put a space between the Trey and the Rags. Sometimes he'll put Trey Rags funny, Trey Rags comedy, and he'll just make 4 or 5 accounts, put all the same videos on each account, and then go from there. So you have no choice. You have no choice. But if because what the algorithm will do is if you like something similar to the content,
Yeah.
you're gonna run into him eventually. Because I like watching comedy stuff. He has comedy keywords in his video description and the video the account name and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I have no choice but to run into it. And then if you watch enough of the video, then it will say, "Oh, you like these type of videos? Okay, I'm gonna give you more of his stuff." So you'll get more of his stuff on that account, on account 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever the case is, and you're just gonna get you're gonna get brainwashed. It's not really brainwashed, but you're gonna get inundated with all his information and the content because he's made so many accounts and put so many videos up. That man, and then another. I think I'm rambling. Let me. I'll go and I'll cut that point, and then we can get to the next point. But yes, multiple accounts doing the same thing, which is marketing your content. Um, so so you can get around the saturation that's in the market already. Everybody's putting a bunch of videos out there. So the only thing you can do is kind of like put a whole bunch of your stuff out there as well. So you got to fight back with numbers.
Yeah. That's interesting because like I think about so like say like for music example, right? Because I'm a music guy, right? So I think about a song, like any song that I may not have liked it first. I heard it once. I'm like, I don't really like that song. You might hear it again on a different station or from a different place, and you're like, all right. Then, but if you hear it enough times, even certain songs that you don't like, you'll end up you might eventually end up liking, right? So it's almost genius because you think about like if say I didn't like that content, but then I seen it again, and then I seen it again, then all of a sudden I'm like, well, what is this? You know what I'm saying? Or let me listen all the way through this time. So it's almost genius strategy, low key. It's crazy.
Yeah, I know Taylor Swift songs for no reason. Like I go to Walmart
You know it.
I go to Walmart. I'm like, oh snap! You want to hear me roar? I know that song. That's Taylor Swift. It's not in my playlist. Why do I know this?
Yeah,
But they a lot of marketing. And this is a more advanced tactic, but they use a lot of subliminal messaging and stuff like that. That kind of it makes you react, or it makes your subconscious hold on to what you're seeing or hearing, and then you'll kind of pay more attention to it than you're actually trying to, and
yeah,
it'll just grow. It'll grow on you over time, and then all of a sudden you're like, "Yo, I'm a fan of Taylor Swift." Like I don't even know how. Like I think I've heard like 5 of her songs, and I know her singles, but it's not like. And all of a sudden it's like, "Yo, I'm buying her albums and stuff like that."
yeah,
But that marketing, there's some subliminal stuff. There's some things that you can take advantage of, um, to get your point across.
yeah,
And like you said, the more you see it, the more you hear it, the more the less resistance you give to it, and the more you allow it to do to be more effective.
yeah. You're right though, because I even think about that with like booking parties or booking different like events. Like
Mhm.
if you see it more than one time, and you eventually get interested. Like, all right, I keep seeing this advertisement for this party. Like, what's this really about? And then finally you might click onto it and be like, well, this might be all right. And then next thing you know, you're seeing content that was related to it, like, hey, this is what happened last time. It's like, wait a minute, maybe I should pop up. So
Mhm.
yeah, you're right, it works.
Yeah, is another thing I like about marketing is because it goes into another topic that I'm very passionate about, which is sales. It's a different aspect of sales, but basically, a lot of people are very prone to saying no to stuff when they first see it. So that's why you have to expose them to it over and over and over again to soften them down, and they get used to it, and they get accommodated. They'll get accommodated to it, and then it's easier for you to make your sale after the third or fourth attempt versus the first or second attempt. That's why it's very important to get
That's
your info. That's oh, go ahead.
no, no, I'm listening. I'm saying that's good. Like I'm listening.
Yeah, that's why it's very important to get a whole lot of your information and content out there, is because you know I only like to look, whenever I'm not thinking about it, whenever I'm just like kind of just idling, kind of brain dead, just doing stuff. I only like to be around things that I'm comfortable and already have exposure to.
Yeah.
Right. So if there's something, let's say for example, I'm scrolling and I'm looking for like, one or two or three different people's information or content, I'm skipping the rest of it. Right. I'm just kind of just going straight through it, right, until I see something I'm familiar with. So the best thing to do is get yourself familiar with your people and other people and new people. So, like I said, the way to do that is with a lot of your content being out there, and they have no choice but to run into it.
Mm. That's good. I'm actually glad you said that because I even think about what I do. Is technically it's a sales position, but like I don't look at it like sales. But you're right. Like we have this thing in the job where we have to sell these sell the product to sell them on the option of being able to have the product shipped to the house as often as they need it or want it,
Mhm.
right? And so most people will say no to that because I'm like, I want you, just hit my car whenever you feel like it. That's kind of how some people look at it. But and I've looked at it like that. Like I don't know, I don't even like selling it because I'm looking at it like that. But then you got to look at it from the advantage point. Like, hey, this is how it can work for you. Like if you live out of town, if you live, a couple cities down, then it might be beneficial for you to have it. That way you ain't got to keep driving all these miles to come get the product. Like little stuff like that. But I'm always like, well, I don't know if I want to present it to them because I don't think they're gonna want it. But I like what you just said. If you give it to them a couple of times, let them get used to the idea. Even
Yeah,
if it's the first time they come in, like if it's a regular, and I might say it the first time, they might say no, and I might say it the two or three, four times, that I've seen them, and I might be able to sell them on the idea after a while, after they've heard them a few times, and actually had an opportunity to be like, you know what, maybe that might be good for me. So I like what you said, though. It was pretty good.
yeah, and it's not even it's in between that and another important factor that you got to consider is that it might be no for now, right? But the next time you run into them, the idea it might make more sense to them because their situation might have changed. It's like, dang, you know what? I can't get back up here no more. It's like I've been trying to get up here, and I usually come once a week, but now my job changed. Now I really can't get up here but once a month. So you're right. Now the thing that you were talking about makes a lot more sense to me. So
Mhm.
that's another reason why whenever people say no to you, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care about nobody's no. Like
Uh,
it's no until I stop making the attempt. That's when your no is more effective. But I mean, I'm gonna let the idea go when you tell me no at the time. But the next time I see you, and if I'm still interested in helping you with my product, right? Because a lot of things that people feel about marketing is they feel like it's dirty, right? And that it depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're trying to take advantage of somebody, then maybe it is dirty, right? But if you're trying to help somebody, even though it may feel pushy, or maybe it might feel unneeded or aggressive, right? But I mean, I think of it like when I used to sell life insurance. I was like, everybody needs life insurance. It really doesn't matter because guess what? Life insurance is the only insurance that you're guaranteed to cash out on. Everybody's gonna die. So that means that I'm giving you something that you really actually need and have to have. So the tactics that I'm using it's not coming from a negative or nasty place. I'm just trying to get you something, and a lot of times it's just a lot of natural biases and natural reactions that you gotta beat back to get to the ability to help somebody with the product that you might have. Again, like I said, I'm quick to say no. Like for example, and I think pretty much anybody in the audience has gone through this. You go to Walmart. You see the stand, you see the guy with the, the button up and he has a pen and a clipboard, and it's like he trying to sell me something. I'm gonna say no.
Yeah,
I'm saying no. I don't even care what it is.
yeah,
Like as soon as I see him, he make eye contact with me, I might just turn around.
right.
But you gotta beat back those objections. That's what we call it in marketing and sales. Those are just natural objections, and that's why they try to hit you with the, hey man, what you got in the car? They'll try to ease it in on you. They try to hit you with a sidebar, and then like, well, dang on man, if you saw it on TV. Speaking of TV, who's your TV provider? He got me. Dang on it. Now I'm talking.
Oh,
And now when you get deep enough into the conversation, people are they don't like people like don't talk, excuse me, people do not like saying no. They don't like being confrontational. They don't want to come off as rude. So now that you're past a certain barrier, they're going to listen to you longer out of a self-fulfilling obligation or whatever like that.
mhm.
But yeah, but like I said, the first objection is once you get past that, you're in the door. You can really make some moves if you're really good at controlling the conversation. But
Yeah.
the first step to that is marketing.
So now I have a question for you. So in your personal experience, um, if you've been doing this for long enough, you probably have some level of discernment to know when to actually leave a person alone. So so from your perspective and opinion, how do you know when it's time to just let that sale go and be like, all right, I'm gonna go and just leave this person alone and go on to the next customer?
It's based off of body language. Um, it's mostly based off body language, based off tone,
Yeah.
based off of the answer, the shortness of the answer. Like for example, uh, I whenever I don't want to be bothered, right? We're having a nice back and forth conversation right now. But whenever I don't want to be bothered, like the answer, like my face, very flat.
Dead set answer. Like, oh, nope.
No, no. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just no. And it's like, dang, you almost attacked me with that no. You know what I'm saying? So versus, you might be talking, let's say, for example, another version of sales is trying to pick up a young lady, right? And it's like, she was like, no, stop it. That's not a no.
Yeah, you know.
Right? That's not a no compared to no, right? Two different no's. One is like, I keep messing with me. We're going to, this no's going to turn into a different situation.
Yeah.
So there's an energy. If you're really good at like filling out somebody's energy and like the vibe that they're putting off, then
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting to know uh, when you can when to say when to back off and when not to. But
Yeah.
the most important thing to do is finish your spiel regardless of that first objection. So I'll give you an example. This is how I would approach me if I was trying to sell me something, right? Because again, if I can see you coming and I know you're trying to sell me something, flat energy, and it's gonna be no. I'm like, hey man, how you doing today? No. Like, listen, I'm tell you what. I got this product over here. I know you need it because I can tell. So let me tell you about it. If you don't walk off, you're caught. So you actually have to physically. And again, this is me in with the ability to leave versus maybe in your situation where you don't want to be that pushy. But uh, if a person will when they like something they move away. They stay around if they're curious, right? But if they don't like it, they tend to move away naturally. There's a lot of natural body language that you'll notice and be able to pick up on whenever people are like, they'll back up. You know, they kind of lean away from you instead of leaning in. You know, those type of things tell you that they're not or they're interested. Um, but at the same time, you got to know your audience too. So that's why I was saying that first approach is very important because if you're looking at somebody who's a bodybuilder and you want to sell them protein, then they have to be able to interested in what you're saying because it's a part of their lifestyle.
Yeah.
So you might not want to hear it, but I'm gonna tell you, and then if it's no after that, we'll see. I'll
Yeah.
back up, man. But you got to hit them with that high charisma approach that's gonna break down. That's gonna that kind of um it doesn't acknowledge the fact that you told me no in the first place. That first no is just that's a habit. It doesn't mean anything. They don't even know anything. How are you gonna tell me no? You don't know what I'm selling. You can't tell me no that. You don't even know what you're saying no to. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So you know, but yeah, like I said, the body language, the tone, the type of words they use when they're saying no, those let me know if it's like, yo, this dude is in and out. You know what I'm saying? Like he ain't got time. Even if I am selling him like a lottery ticket or something like that.
Right. No, that definitely makes sense. And so there's two things that I've kind of learned, but I think it really depends on on your personality. Like I'm a little bit more like I guess bubbly and extroverted. So like one thing I learned to do is whenever people come into the store, I'm like, "Yo, welcome to paradise," right? Because like when you walk into a store ain't paradise, but that's usually kind of like a good icebreaker to make them like kind of bring their defenses down a little bit, and depending on how they respond, it can kind of help me move into it a little bit as far as like a spill. So I noticed that can help. I forgot the second thing I was going to say. Oh, here's the second thing too. I've learned to speak a little bit slower to people coming in, because if I'm more clearly heard, usually they'll stop at least long enough to hear me like speak my spiel before they say no. And I've noticed that's been working more lately.
Absolutely. I'm speaking fast because I'm kind of excited about
You
the
good?
topic, but in general, uh, speaking slow is it's a cue of power and it's a cue of confidence. People love when you speak slow, and very important things that you can do, such as when you speak slow, you speak softer, because when you speak softer, now I'm like, what the heck he just say? So you kind of agitate them, but again, that's another subconscious. Oh, hello, audio. Oh, is that me? Audio message. Is the audio good?
You good? Yeah, I can hear you. You good?
Okay, yeah, it sounds kind of crazy on my end. I think it was like a reverb or something like that. But like I was saying, whenever you speak slowly, speak more calm, right? Because like my energy kind of even my I'm settling down as I start speaking slower and calmer. But people really like that energy though. So, but like you just said, so you compare that with the yo, welcome to paradise. Like, huh? Okay, he seems he's in a good mood at least, right? So whether they acknowledge that or not, right? And then they come over to you, you got to smile and stuff like that. Hey, how you doing today? What can I help you with? And then, like I said, speaking slow, good energy, slow, calm, confident. All people love that.
Mm, that's good. So I want to speak on a strategy. I think I talked to you a little bit about this, like, but I feel like a strategy that I feel like has been working for me, and I kind of wanted to expose it to other people. Like, if anybody's this watching this, and influencing themselves, maybe they can kind of maybe think about this particular option that I do. So, like for me, I go live all the time, right? So once I got myself to the position where I can go live all the time, I make content weekly, and all I do is I take shorts. Well, I build shorts from that content, and I post it every day. So for like with YouTube, I know that you can post something as many times as you want, and you can schedule it out. So what I've been doing is or how I've been taking advantage of like screenshotting is screenshotting parts of my video and then making a short out of it and then putting it on there. So that's why I have content that drops every single day because I schedule it out. Like I probably scheduled to like I think like mid September or something like that. Like I have content dropping every single day at the same time, so people are like used to seeing my content. And so
Hmm.
that's one of the things that's been helping me to build my audience is the shorts every single day and then going live every day. And just like now, I got randos that's jumping on my live, don't know who I am, but they're like, well, what is this? Who is this? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't know.
No,
What do
no,
you
that's
think about that?
super duper, super duper, super duper important is consistency, right? There's three there's three things that you can do as a content creator that's going to build your audience. The first one is being the best at whatever your field is, right? Let's say, for example, uh, basketball, right? LeBron gets on, he's the best in basketball, quote unquote, right? Quote unquote. He's the best in basketball right now, according to a lot of people. He
Yeah.
gets online, so he automatically has a following because everybody thinks he's the best, right? The second thing you can do is be consistent, right? Because I might not be the best, but I'm here every day. And people eventually, there's a guy I watch, and I was like, yo, where you at today? And I didn't realize that I was depending on him being on time. And I got irritated because I was like, yo, I don't need to watch him, but I'm just used to watching him. So now I want to watch him. So where are you at? You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I'm out here looking for him. Like, oh, he was late today for some random reason. And I was like, okay, well, dang. And then I thought about it later. I was like, yo, I can't believe I'm watching this dude so much that I'm waiting on him. I'm anticipating with him. I'm like, bro, you where you been at, bro? Are you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Just overslept, something like that. I'm like, oh, well, we need to stop that. But let's keep it consistent again. And then the last thing is to be extremely entertaining, right? Because if you're extremely entertaining, that kind of leans more into being the best of something, but you don't have to be the best to be very entertaining. But if you're very entertaining, people want to see your stuff regardless of how often you put it out. But when you combine all three of those, or as much of those three as you can,
Yeah.
it really helps you. It helps you to be content that people want to consume.
Mm.
Because again, like I said, the three is consistent. Consistent is something that everybody can do. Everybody ain't got to be entertaining, or I'm sorry, everybody cannot be entertaining. Only a few people can be the best of anything, right? But like I said, everybody can post every day like you're doing. Everybody can make it consistent like you're doing. Everybody can schedule it out and kind of take the brunt work of trying to post it at that specific minute. Instead of just have automate, you can automate it basically, right? Which is super important, automating as much as the process as possible. But again, if you take advantage of your tools, be consistent, that's some advice that everybody can take.
I'm definitely making short out of that. Out of what you just said, I'm making a short out of that. I'm telling you.
It might have been too long, man. The short ain't nothing but like 59 seconds, so it might have took me too
You
long to
said
get
all
that
three.
point across.
You said all three are long enough to make it short. So whenever
Okay,
you go back and said all three of them, that's enough to make it short.
okay, that's what's up. Highlights.
Man, hey, I appreciate you, Winston. That'll be it for this particular Mansu episode. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I definitely love to have another conversation with you on some on more topics. You know what I'm saying? I think this is dope and nice and entertainment and all that good stuff. So we going in this particular live here for the Mansu Monday, and we'll see y'all next time, man. God bless y'all. Let's get it.
Yes, sir.